pops out and then has to come back in. But we'll find out what happens here because I got to make sure I hit record. All right, y'all. We're going to be talking about the attempted assassination on Donald J. Trump. We're going to talk about how the left-wing people, the far-left people, are crying and saying some obscene things. That is everything that we're going to be talking about today. So if y'all bear with me here, we're going to get the intro out of the way, and then we're going to get the show started. I am going to go on a little bit of a rampage. I'm going to go unhinged during this podcast. So yeah, let's see what happens here. We're live on all the other social media platforms. Let's go ahead and get the intro out of the way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
You've known them to run their mouths about politics. Politics, schmalitics. Well, little did you know, they can run their mouths about other stuff as well. This is the Mark G Show. They have a natural curiosity about just about everything, from aliens, the paranormal, to the biggest natural disasters that have ever occurred on planet Earth, and everything in between. Two brothers from another mother ripping it up. And, oh no, we don't record the show. We have the balls to do it live. Call into the show at 207-370-5852. That's 207-370-5852. Be a part of the show. Let's do it. This is the Mark G Show. And now your hosts, Mark G and...
What is going on, everybody? Unfortunately, Gary G is not here with us today. We do have Zach with us, kinda. He'll be back. Listen, yesterday was absolutely insane, and we are going to be talking about that. We are opening up our phone lines for today's podcast because, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions about what happened yesterday. To me, I almost had, it was a sense of, oh shit, our nation is in major distress. We're going to be talking about all that.
Hey, so don't let Sully call.
Zach, why you got to cut me off? First and foremost, let me introduce you to the guy that don't know how to shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host for today's podcast is Zach. Zach, what's going on, my man?
That's all you got to say right here.
Okay. Is that what you're going to do today? Fantastic.
Don't let Sully call.
Listen, I will hang up on him because I'm not going to take any shit today. All right, folks, what happened yesterday is a tragic event. A life was lost. Two other people are in critical condition. And our former president and current runner-up against President Joe Biden just had an attempted assassination on them. This is something not to joke about. Although I will say some of the memes that are coming out with Donald Trump and 50 Cent, many men, is fucking phenomenal. But the left-wing people who have been brainwashed absolutely by mainstream media, people from talk shows like The View and so forth, are the ones to be blamed for this attempted assassination on Donald J. Trump. And I will get into talking about the reason why my thoughts of this is. I don't care what your political views are. I really don't. What I do care about are these people that are going on social media platforms right now saying, why did he have to miss? These people are delusional. And they're delusional because of what they are hearing on mainstream media, for what they're hearing from the people on The View have to say. When you sit there and say that someone is a threat to democracy, when you sit there and call someone Hitler, when you sit there and say we need to put a bullseye on somebody, you are to blame. When the left-wing media sits there and says this stuff, it causes people who are already having delusional thoughts, delusional ideas to go even that more delusional. Folks, I'm not saying that there ain't people on the right wing that have said things about Trump, but what I can tell you, said the same stuff about Biden. What I can tell you, though, is right-wing media, they're not even that far right-wing, have not called Biden Hitler. They have not said, put Biden in the bullseye. Not a single one in the right-wing media has done this, but the left-wing media has. Shows like The Views have. And listen, I want to hear your opinions. I am going to open up phone lines here first, but I do want to tell you one thing. Yesterday was an absolute tragic day. I've got to blame a little bit. Yes, I am going to throw a little blame out there to the Secret Service, to local law enforcement.
Hey, Mark, I got to go, bro.
Okay. Folks, Zach is leaving. Give me 1 second. I'm going to remove Zach from here. He's got his kiddos. Unfortunately, I ran this show without, I work a lot, folks, so I had to run this show. Let me go ahead and just switch that around. Okay. The Secret Service messed up 100%. So did the local law enforcement. This guy should have never been on the rooftop. I'm not going to mention his name. Not at all. Because when you mention a name of somebody who did an attempt assassination or anybody who murders anybody, that's exactly what they want. They want to be glorified. When they do this stuff, they want to be known as the person that did this. They want to be glorified. That goes for any of the shooters. That goes for the shooters of the school shootings. That goes for these mass shootings that happen. These people that do they want to be glorified. They are absolutely sick and twisted in their head. And let me put it out there, and I'll be the first to tell you, folks, it's not the issues of the firearms. Absolutely not the issue of the firearms. Will I be calling for the banning of firearms now because of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump? Hell no. Hell no. Because it's not the firearms issue. The issue is people. People kill people. Guns don't. With all that being said, let's move forward with this show, folks. What an absolute shit show yesterday. It was a failure in local law enforcement. It was a failure on the Secret Service detail that went and canvassed the area prior to Trump arriving. For those who may have missed it, I am going to play up to the moment of when Trump was fired upon, when the attempted assassination happened. And then I will open up the phone lines. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear your views. I will say this. I will cut you off if you start getting completely vulgar. But I understand your anger. I do. But there's some anger that I don't understand. And that anger is for the people that are praising the guy who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump. They should not be praising him at all. But let me go ahead and we're going to play this video real quick. Hopefully the audio plays. Like I said, I popped up this podcast as quick as possible. Here we go.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Okay, we are watching live. We do not know.
Let me say that at that point, if Donald Trump did not move his head, this would be a different freaking podcast right now. An absolute different podcast. We would have lost a presidential candidate. He is absolutely one of the luckiest men out there right now during that situation. I don't care where your faith is, but in my opinions, God had his eyes on Trump that day. God had his hand on him to protect him from this scenario. Not everybody is as lucky as him. Exactly. I will agree with Sully. He did definitely keep himself alive. The Secret Service detailed could have moved faster. There was a female Secret Service agent. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I 100% agree with females being in the military. 100% agree with females being in law enforcement. I do. But this female Secret Service agent was too short. She was too small to be on Donald Trump's detail. These Secret Service members need to make sure that they're covering the body of any presidential candidate or any president. I don't care who they are. But in a Secret Service detail, they need to make sure they can cover the body of the person that they are protecting. This agent was too short to be on his detail. She also needs a little bit more training in stress operations. Folks, can I say that I would have been a little bit better? No, I can't. But I can say her actions and the way she acted, she wasn't even able to reholster her weapon. There's videos out there. We'll get to some of those videos. We're on X. We're going to pull up a lot of videos today during this podcast. We're going to go through it. But folks, let me go ahead and I am going to throw up the number. I'm going to throw it up to the left side of me here. Let me go ahead. We're going to throw the number. I'm not sure if everybody on TikTok can see that, but I am going to throw the number up on the screen. If you want to call into the show, feel free to call in the show. Jeanette, yes, there was absolutely, there were people that did warn law enforcement officers that a gentleman was trying to call up there. There's just recently another video released of, it looks like a law enforcement officer did try to climb up on the rooftop. And when he did, the apparent shooter here pointed his weapon down at him. Here's another one. The FBI confirms that Republican who shot Trump used AR-15. Let me just go over here real quick. This is an image that somebody took. What you're hearing down there is a crowd during it. And that's the other thing I want to bring up, right? This is a 20-year-old male. And a lot of people are calling him a Republican. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad to see y'all in the chat. Let me get over to the chat, by the way, to the other social media platforms. He was a 20-year-old male, correct. He was registered Republican, correct. There is a video out there, though, of saying for his hatred towards Donald Trump. There's a video out there saying that he hates Republicans. When you are 18 years old, you may have forgotten what party that you registered with. He did, Ash. He did. He donated $15 to a super PAC, a far left wing super PAC. That is absolutely confirmed. That has actually been posted within a lot of news outlets as well. So just because he's a registered Republican at that time doesn't mean he's a Republican. It absolutely does not. Folks, I can tell you, if you go to, we'll say you go to your local grocery store, you know how you got the people out there holding up this paperwork saying, hey, can you sign this to get this on the ballot? If you're a dope like me and you don't read it sometimes, but you listen to what they have to say, and you're like, listen, everything deserves to be on a ballot to deserve to be voted on. And that's my opinion. And you just sign it after listening to what they have to say, and you forget to freaking read the damn literature. Sometimes they change your political status. It happened to me. I had to go back and re-register as a Republican because of that. It does happen. And this could have definitely happened to this individual here. This guy is an absolute demon. What he got afterwards, he absolutely deserved. But at the same time, I think he would have been more deserving if he would have went through the court process and been charged and put into jail. I don't wish death upon anybody. And unfortunately, that is why I'm doing this podcast. This is why I'm doing this podcast, because I'm seeing way too many videos on TikTok, way too many videos on X of people praising this absolute lunatic. And now I'm going to get a little bit more pissed off. I'm having issues within my family, and I am going to call it out. My own mother has stated that she is upset that this individual missed, that she does not feel bad for the assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump. That is absolutely disgusting. There should be nobody out there wishing harm on any political candidate. Absolutely none. Wake the fuck up. Why? Why must you wish death upon any political candidate? Any. There's absolutely no reason for it. Our country is going to shit. We have been divided by mainstream media. We have been divided by politicians. And we are allowing it. Right now, I want to say shame on you, MSNBC. Shame on you, CNN. Shame on you, The View. And shame on every fucking politician that has helped cause the greatest division that we have seen within America. Shame on you. No reason for it whatsoever. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing this division. I'm tired of seeing our country so freaking divided. Back in the day, you could sit there and have a complete different political view than anybody else within your family, within your friendships. But at the end of the day, you were able to, excuse me, you were able to sit down at the dinner table and know that you loved each other. You were able to agree that, yeah, it's okay to have a different opinion. It's okay. Now, you are not allowed to have a different political opinion. Because if you have a different political opinion than anybody else out there, you're either called a racist, a xenophobe, or even, we'll say, far as the left wings, freaking crazy ass lunatics. You're not able to have this different political opinion anymore. It's disgusting. Absolutely. I'm tired of it. This shit did not exist back then. And if it did, it wasn't as crazy as it is now. Politicians need to get their heads out of their asses. And I'll tell you what I would love to see. I know it will probably never freaking happen, but I'll tell you what I would love to see. I would love to see Donald Trump and Biden come together. Listen, I know it's going to be hard because of what just recently happened to Donald Trump. Maybe invite Donald Trump to the White House. Have Donald Trump and Biden sit down together and call for unity. Call for the stops on attacking political parties, saying that they're a threat to democracy. Calling for a stop on comparing other politicians to Hitler. Calling for a stop on saying that these politicians are going to annihilate the country. They're not. We already did 4 years underneath Trump. What happened to us? Absolutely nothing. My wallet was fatter. I had more money in my freaking pocket underneath Trump. Did we have any wars underneath Trump? No, we did not. There was absolutely no wars underneath the Trump administration other than the current occupation that we were in a shithole country called Iraq. Absolutely none. This is ridiculous. America needs to wake up. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing families being freaking divided over this bullshit. I'm tired of seeing friendships divided. I'm tired of watching left-wing media call Donald Trump Hitler. I'm tired of watching left-wing media calling him all this shit. The ladies of The View, dear God, don't get me started on those ladies. They're freaking psychotic. Each and every single one of them need a freaking psych eval. Each and every one of them need a psych eval. Folks, my phone number is up here on the screen. If you want to call into the show right now and voice your opinion, maybe you're far left wing and you want to bitch at me. My number's right there. Call into the show right now. I want to talk to you because we're going to go through some Twitter feeds and see what's on here. Jeanette says over on TikTok, I feel like I'm in church that we all love. Listen, Jeanette, we all love God. There are some people out there that need more Jesus in their life right now. Haley on TikTok saying, I'm terrified of going to a rally of either side to make my own opinion of fear of violence. And that's the problem. You should not have that fear. You should be able to feel safe when you go to these events. The Secret Service and local law enforcement failed. They failed to cover the area. This neurotic fucking idiot had clear view of the stage. He should have never had that clear view. Never. This is a failure on the local law enforcement and the Secret Service and FBI detail. It's a sad day that happened yesterday. And it's the new shot that was heard around the freaking world. And as I have stated before, folks, I don't care where you stand politically. I absolutely don't. Whether you're Republican, whether you're a Democrat, you should be absolutely upset what happened. And you should be upset that this even took place. You should not be upset that the shooter failed. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I'm live today. It's one of the biggest reasons why I had to come out here and voice my freaking opinion. Because there are a lot of sick and twisted people out there right now posting videos all over TikTok, all over X, saying how they are upset that this demon, this idiotic, moronic person failed at this shooting. Those people need help. Every last one of you need fucking help. This is human life. human life. If this happened to Biden, my heart would be fucking broken as well. I would not be sitting there saying, oh, I can't believe he missed. That I would not be doing that. No. This is a sad fucking day in America. And you should be worried. And no, we are not going to cry for the banning of firearms. Not one bit. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the most recent reports, it did say that the individual's father bought the firearm for him. And I wonder why that is. Wonder why his father had to buy the firearm for him. Because he's a 20-year-old male. In the United States, all you have to be is 18 years old to buy a rifle, 21 to buy a handgun. Because you should be able to go hunting, right? But firearms, rifles are even used for home protection. Rifles are also used for personal protection no matter what. But this individual bought, his father bought him the rifle. Why did his father buy him the rifle? Did this individual have psychiatric issues? We're going to hopefully find all this out within the course of the next few days. There's definitely needs to be a bigger investigation on everything, because what else is going on with this individual? Who has he been enticed by? My opinion is he was enticed by mainstream media. He was enticed by social media. He was enticed. It's absolutely sickening. And I'm glad that I'm seeing politicians on both sides. I'm glad that I'm seeing world leaders come out and condemn the actions of this demon. I'm glad that I'm seeing this. I will say I am proud of Biden to come out and as well condemn the actions of the shooter. I'm glad that Biden did that. I am not for Biden. I am 100% Republican. I am voting for Donald J. Trump. To anybody who is praising this shooter, this demon, like I said, I'm not mentioning his name because he does not need to be glorified. For those of you who are praising him, saying, even though you're bitching because he missed, let me tell you what he just did. Don't think he just helped your fucking political party, because he absolutely did not help you. What he did was just made sure and sealed the freaking deal that Donald J. Trump will be the next president of the United States of America. That is exactly what he just did. Watch it. Seal my words. Mark it down. Time it, whatever. Guaranteed Donald J. Trump now wins this election. So good job. Good job, Democrats. Good job, far lefters. Because that's all that happened right there. You have officially lost. I want to give a shout out, though, to Donald Trump. A man who's showing so much fucking power, so much conviction. So, Kairucha, it's going to happen, right? Kairucha on TikTok. For those who are watching, we got a lot of viewers right now on X. Kairucha posted on TikTok, why are people saying this was staged? It absolutely makes no stage. I've actually got a family member as well that does claim that it was staged. I got a family member who is saying that as well. Listen, folks, it happened during school shootings as well. Look at what happened to, oh shit. Why can I not think of his name right now? An individual who just got sued over Sandy Hook. Anybody help me out there in chat? But the individual, Alex, is his name Alex something? Frick. I can't think of his name. When I come across that, we'll let you know. But there's an individual. Listen, people call staged for school shootings. People call staged for a lot of things, right? It's conspiracy theories. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things that can be tied into that can make people think of conspiracy theory, right? There's a lot of shit that happens prior to an event that can make you sit there and go, well, shit, was this staged? Was there a 3-letter agency involved? But I'm telling you, like, there's conspiracy theories that are going to pop up 100%. People are going to say that it was staged. People are going to come up with different ideas. There's even a thing right now, supposedly, there's a left-wing media that's saying Donald Trump was hit by a piece of glass. There's There's stuff here. Let's see. Law enforcement on top of roof behind Trump clearly sees sniper yet awaits until sniper shoots at Trump before shooting.
Take a look at what happened.
Video here.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that shot.
That video is not going to allow me to expand it out. My apologies. Oh, wait. Here we go. All right. Can you all see that video over on social media? Can you see right here? We got, hold on. Let me backtrack over here. As y'all can see right here, this is a sniper that took out that demon. Or should I say that piece of shit? There's the sniper right there. We're going to go ahead and watch it again. You're going to hear shots fired prior to the sniper taking his own shot. Watch the sniper once again. The sniper's right here. Watch the sniper and listen for the fire.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that shot. That shot's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So I think what happened right there, did you see when he brought his eyes up and he brought his eye back down? I believe the sniper may. And now listen, I'm assuming. We got to wait for the reports. As always, you have to wait for the reports to come out. I'm assuming there was a glare that was shown. Because it looks like if you watch the sniper prior, it looks as if I don't know. It looks like he instantly spotted the individual, the fucking dipshit. They spotted him, and then
And you know, that's
it appears that he may have spotted him prior to the shooting. But then again, like I said, we have to wait for the reports. It all boils down to the reports. I'm waiting. We have yet to get a phone call, which I'm very shocked. They were warned. Jeanette, they were definitely warned. There were individuals on the ground telling local law enforcement that there was an individual climbing on the building, the roof of the building, and local law enforcement, Secret Service, and FBI did absolutely nothing. And that is why there is a congressional hearing tomorrow. They've already been called to a congressional hearing tomorrow to find out what happened, what events unfold. Somebody is responsible, and they need to be fired. Donald Trump's team has also asked for extra security. They were denied. They were denied extra security detail. They were denied extra Secret Service agents. Why? If you're going to come out with all this rhetoric bullshit about Donald Trump, knowing that you are putting his life in danger, and then you deny the extra Secret Service detail for Donald Trump, and this is why people are screaming at the rooftop. Is this what the Democratic Party wanted? It's not conspiracy theory, but it is a major thought process. Is this what the Democratic Party wanted? Is this what they wanted to see? Why else would they be sitting there deeming Donald Trump as the worst man on earth? Why would they be comparing him to Putin? Why would they be comparing him to Hitler? Is it because they wanted violence upon him? Jeanette, I agree with you. We do want peace. 100% want peace. But getting peace does not mean comparing someone to Hitler. Wanting peace does not mean to say that someone's a threat to democracy. When you are out there in the political field, you need to start arguing over your political policies. You need to argue over your policies. That's it. And now I'm sounding like fucking Biden. I'm whispering. My throat hurts from yelling earlier. You need to argue over the political policies. You want to win a freaking election? You win over your policies. You don't win by trashing another political candidate. You don't win by comparing another political candidate to Hitler. All this political mess, thanks to social media, is sound bites. Sound bites and clips. Sound bites and clips. Like when people are sitting there talking about Donald Trump and the bleach during the C-19 era. Donald Trump did not tell people to go do it. It was a soundbite and clip that they took from a longer freaking speech. When Donald Trump talked about being a dictator, he didn't say that. It was a soundbite and clip. Listen to the full length of the interview. You're taking tidbits out of conversation and spinning it for their own agenda. So Nick Troll, yeah, I would agree with you, Nick. Nick on TikTok saying, what I want to know is why did cop back down? There was a law enforcement officer that did try climbing it. But at the same time, Nick, here's the situation. That law enforcement officer was trying to climb on top of the building. This individual already had an upper on him. When you have an upper position, when you are on a rooftop with a firearm, you have the upper hand. So I believe that law enforcement officer was not willing to put his life on the line because at the same time, he could have been easily shot in the head as well. He could have been taken down. I believe, in my opinion, that's why the law enforcement officer went back down off the rooftop. And Nick Troll, that is what we're talking about. Why did the snipers not clear that building? Why did we not have a sniper on that building of our own? Why did the Secret Service not have a sniper on that freaking building? That building was too close to the event. There's some stuff that's got me questioning. And like I said, we still got to wait. My whole reasoning for doing this podcast today is for my anger that I have to all these far left extremists who have been brainwashed, who have absolutely, they have been brainwashed by mainstream media. They have been brainwashed by shows like The View, brainwashed by Jimmy Kimmel, that have called for violence on our former president, Donald J. Trump. Sully, I don't believe they're gonna. Sully on TikTok, for those who are watching on other media, Sully on TikTok says they need to keep events inside. I don't think they're gonna. I have somebody over, it looks like on Twitch, Astroflux, saying it's crazy. It was only 130 feet. It's a length of a football field. It's not that far. I also will say it's hard for that sniper to get the right shot as well, because I believe it's 300 times. Don't quote me on this, folks. But I believe the glass that he had was probably 300 times magnifying. And try to imagining with that short of a distance using your scope at 300 times magnifying on trying to zone in on your perp. And Sully, I don't think there was any air support whatsoever out there. And no, Nick Troll, Trump is not going to want to keep it inside, right? Trump brings in crowds. Trump is a crowd worker. He's a crowd pleaser. There's absolutely no way he's going to go ahead and allow the event to happen inside. Reaching the Nuggie Jar says it was a small caliber. Why was there not? Right, Nick Troll, those are questions to be asked. And this could be all down to the fact that they denied the extra detail for Donald Trump. Yes, Jeanette, that picture rings, man. That picture rings. I've got that on my personal Facebook picture, on my personal Facebook page of Donald Trump standing with his fist up when he told everybody to fight. And that is exactly what we need to do. We need to fight. We need to have our voices heard. But we don't need to fight with violence. We absolutely do not need to fight with violence. We need to fight with our voices. We need to fight with education. We are better than this. The Republican Party is better than this. We don't need to use the same tactics that the left-wing media is using. We don't need to use the same tactics that the left-wing social media influencers are using. We can do this by educating people. We can do this by using our freaking voice. We do not have to use violence. The only time that we should use our rights for the Second Amendment is when our life is in danger, our family's in danger, or those who are around us in danger is the only time that we should use deadly force. Otherwise, we use our voices. We use everything we can other than deadly force. We don't attack them by saying that they're going to destroy democracy. There are major policies that Republicans do not agree with on the left side. There's a lot of policies that we don't agree with. So how do we combat that? We combat that at the freaking voting polls. We also we got some bigger issues going on right now where the Democratic parties have voted to allow illegal immigrants to vote in the U.S. elections. That is asinine. Those elections are for U.S. citizens. And only U.S. citizens should have that right to vote. not nobody who crossed that border illegally. We have a lot of shit going on within our country right now, and it's scary. America needs to wake up. We need to unite. I know my podcast is not going to go far. I know my video is not going to go far. And fuck the Donald Trump administration probably won't even see this, or Biden administration. But let me call it out to you right now. I'm going to say, I've already said it once on this podcast. I'd love to see it again. Biden, invite Donald J. Trump to the White House. Donald Trump, accept that invite. Both of you sit down and go live and tell the American people this rhetoric bullshit is over. Call out to mainstream media and tell them to stop with this rhetoric media. Nice. Call out to everybody and tell them to stop it. Hold on a second, y'all. My son, my boy is calling out to me. Well, I'm live right now, kiddo, on a podcast. I love you, though. Nice. Go shut the door, though. Okay. This is the wonders of doing the podcast with children, y'all. I'm a dad. I'll always be a dad first. I will always protect my children no matter what. And what's happening in our country right now, this is why we need to protect our fucking country. We need to protect our country for our younger generation. Showing our younger generation that it's okay to attack your political party with violence, to show the younger generation that it's okay to compare someone to Hitler is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. What are we doing to this younger generation? We're destroying them. We're destroying them. If not for us, do it for them. Wake up. Folks, there's a number on the board. I don't know if y'all can see it. I will expand out that number real quick. Let me pull up the number. I'm going to throw the number up just a little bit right there. Feel free to call on the show. I'd love to hear your opinions at this point. 207-370-5852. Call into this number. Let me hear what your opinions are. Whether you are left, whether you are right, I want to hear your opinions. I don't care. But the moment that you say that you wish you've never missed, I will hang up on you. It's a freaking sad day. I don't care who you are. It's absolutely sad. My prayers go out to Donald Trump and his family. My prayers also go out to the retired firefighter chief who has passed away by the senseless shooting. This guy was a father, a husband, somebody's son, and he was killed by this murderer in the senseless act because someone got brainwashed. 2 other people are currently in critical condition because of the senseless act. And Heather, I see a chat down there. We can do a whole nother podcast episode on that. I unfortunately will get censored on some of the social media platforms that we're on. So we'll save that for another day. But folks, on a real note though, let's go back. I want to go back over to Twitter. If you're not on X, I tell you, you need to go on X. So it looks like 14 minutes ago, Raw News Alert, who is people that I do follow on X, they're now saying, according to the FBI officials, a Trump rally shooting is now being investigated as an attempted assassination and a potential act of domestic terrorism. The suspected shooter has been rejected from high school rifle club, according to 2 former team members, as he was, hold on one second here, as he was considered dangerous, said one of the team members. Let me repeat that real quick. Maybe this explains why the dad had to buy the rifle. Breaking news from Raw's Alert over on X. According to FBI officials, the Trump rally shooting is being investigated as an attempted assassination and potential act of domestic terrorism. The suspected shooter had been rejected from high school rifle club, according to 2 former team members, as he was asked not to come back because he was such a bad shot. It was considered dangerous, said one of the team members. His dad will probably be charged, Sully. But do we charge parents for the action of their children? Do we? And what's the reason because of that, right? It's bad parent. Do we call it bad parenting because one individual is twisted and fucked up in the head? Or is it because the father bought him that firearm? I'm not sure if I'm a firm believer in charging the parents. Racism starts within the home, does it not? If the dad knew about these problems and he didn't take action, the question is, see, folks, I got to look more into this individual. And I should have done this prior to the podcast, but I'm working nights and I don't get much sleep right now. Did this individual live at home with his parents? If he did the parents see him losing his shit? Is he going mentally insane? I've already told y'all that I'm concerned for my mother. I've told my mother she needs to seek psychiatric help. Families are being destroyed. And if you don't see that, folks, you need to wake up. I send prayers for my mom every freaking night. I feel absolutely bad for my mother that she has been brainwashed by mainstream media. My mother has been brainwashed by the Republican Party for the mean rhetoric bullshit that they are spreading, the lies they are spreading about Trump. This isn't a political attack. The rhetoric bullshit needs to stop. And I think I got thrown off by my son when he was stepping in on what I wanted to say. So I will call it out again. Dear Mr. President Biden, dear Mr. former President Donald J. Trump, I ask that both of you meet at the White House and do a live emergency broadcast. Address the American people and tell them that the rhetoric bullshit stops now. Tell the left-wing media to stop with the rhetoric bullshit. Tell every Democratic Party member that has ever referred to Donald J. Trump as Hitler to delete those posts. It is time to unite America. It is not time to divide us more than we already have. It is going to take an act of God to get us as united the way we were. On previous podcasts, I have talked about the last time America was united. The last time that Americans stood toe-to-toe and hand-to-hand was back during September 11, 2001, when our country was rocked during 9/11. That is I should say it's the day after 9/11. America was in shock and awe on the day of 9/11. After the day after 9/11, Americans united. Americans stood hand to hand on their streets, lighting candles for the lives lost on 9/11, for another senseless act that happened on America. And now we have a former president who just had an attempted assassination done on him. America needs to unite again. I ask everybody in the Democratic Party, if you haven't already, denounce this evil, senseless piece of shit that tried to take out Donald Trump, who had taken a life of a civilian. He's taken and also have two others in critical condition. It's time to denounce these acts. It's time to call for freaking peace and unity. Democrats, if you have any balls whatsoever, you will do this. And the same for any Republican out there that may be far right who has called for the death of anybody, who has called for the harm on anybody. It's time to denounce that shit. Let's argue on policies. Let's argue on policies. Let's not compare people as Hitler anymore. Let's not say they're a threat to democracy, because they're not. You're fear-mongering. Absolutely fucking fear-mongering. And I apologize for my language, but I'm pissed. I am pissed and I am tired. People ask why I'm a Republican, why I'm for Trump. Let me explain to you why I'm for Trump. Let me just get a drink real quick here. I'm a business owner in my state. I'm a social media influencer, but I'm also a business owner here locally in my state of Maine. Underneath the Trump administration, my business was booming. I was able to take my family out to do nice things, take my kids out to do nice things. Didn't have to worry about shit financially. Business was freaking booming. Underneath this current administration, I feel as if I'm working, unfortunately, as a waiter making $5 an hour, barely making ends meet. I miss the good days when we were living great as Americans. We are hurting right now. Our country is not focused on Americans anymore. It's not. Our politicians who are sitting in that White House right now, who are sitting up there making policies for us, who are deciding to give our money out to third world shithole fucking countries and putting Americans more into debt. We have millions of Americans right now in the streets of America, millions of veterans, hundreds of thousands of veterans who have served our country, who have signed a contract to give their fucking life for us, both foreign, domestic, sleeping on the streets, not getting the help that they need, the help that they deserve. We have families, mothers, families, men, women, children living on the friggin' streets because they can't afford the apartments anymore. When a one-bedroom apartment costs $2,000 freaking dollars. It's sickening. It's sad. But we're not focused on that, are we, America? We're not. Are we, Democrats? We're not focused on that, are we? No. Because we'd much rather fill our news up screaming on how evil Donald J. Trump is, screaming that if he became in office, that he'd put us closest to a nuclear war. Make that make sense to me, Democrats. Make that make sense to me, because right now, if I'm not mistaken, we are closest that we have ever been right now to a nuclear freaking war. We are closer right now to having an attack on our soil than we have been in a very long freaking time. I am scared for our fucking country right now. I'm scared for the country that we are leaving for our fucking kids. It's sickening. It turns my fucking stomach. Jeanette, you know what's kind of interesting about JFK, and I see that you posted that over on TikTok. Donald Trump did say that he is going to release some information in regards to JFK if he is really reelected. I want to know what's in those reports of JFK. What are they hiding from the American people? Because Donald Trump did say, if you saw what I saw, you wouldn't want to share it neither. Now, Sully. All right, so listen, folks. I have a gentleman, Sully, he's a good friend of mine. We disagree on a lot of things. But Donald Trump did say that if you saw what he saw within those files, you wouldn't want to share it neither. I'm not saying that a 3-letter agency may have been involved, but I do want to know what's in those files. Why wouldn't you want to share that with the American people? What is in it that they don't want us to see? But I'm also not ruling out the factors that something fishy kind of smells in regards to this assassination attempt on Donald Trump. But we'll wait until the reports come out. That's all we can fucking do right now. But we do need a call for unity. And I would love to see more people on TikTok, more people on X, more people on Facebook, more content creators get out there and call for unity, both on the left and right side. It's time to stop this rhetoric bullshit. And this goes out to that one guy there. What's his name? Harry? What's Harry's last name? I don't even know Harry's last name. Harry needs to stop with his bullshit too. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull him up, y'all. I want to pull him up on TikTok. Maybe I can pull him up on X. Does Harry have an X? Does anybody know? What is it? Harry, what is his name? Anybody on chat know his name? It's Harry Sisson. Here we go. Harry Sisson. Hard left wing promoting Biden. Y'all see? I don't follow this freaking goof. But he is sitting there calling. Look, Kate Andrews says, today we are all MAGA. Harry saying, no, we're not. Harry over here has been calling for violence on Donald Trump before as well. Granted, yes, he was a registered Republican, but that doesn't mean he's a Republican. Not at all. But yeah, Harry Sisson has called for violence on Donald Trump before as well. And Harry Sisson does need to be investigated. But it's influencers like this that spread the rhetoric bullshit. They need to be investigated and they need to stop. Any threat on any human life is idiotic and should be denounced. Heather Smith, you're asking why did this guy do it? And did he have, we don't know yet. We don't know why he's doing it. There's a current investigation. They were going through his house last night. We have to wait and find out what is going on. There has to be more. What triggered him, right? The only thing I can tell you what doesn't help with the triggering of these individuals right now is the glorification of shooters. In our country, and all media glorifies killers. I have seen Fox stop doing it. But when you glorify somebody who does events like this, who do shoot at individuals, who do these mass shootings or mass stabbings or whatever, they feel as if they're being glorified. He is from Pennsylvania, CTG. He lives in Pennsylvania. They're glorifying him. And these people think that they're going to become a martyr because they did this, that their name will live on forever. We need to stop glorifying these individuals. We absolutely do. They don't need to be glorified. And I'm looking right now, folks. I'm doing like another quick browse through Twitter, and it's called, we got to get more investigation. Folks, I'm going to do another one of these podcasts here in the future. No one really cares about Harry Janet, but the thing is, this kid, Harry, has a shit ton of followers, over almost 1 million followers on X, and I believe he is at 1 million followers on TikTok. Hold on, I'll look on my phone real quick and see what he's got for followers on his TikTok. I believe he's got 1 million followers, and this is why you need to kind of focus on these content creators like Harry. It's not that you care about who they are. It's the rhetoric bullshit that they call for. He's got 960,000 followers on TikTok. It's the rhetoric bullshit that they're saying. Because what they're doing is fear-mongering these individuals. You take young individuals and you take people who have issues within their head, these people who are already sick, that have medical conditions, fall even deeper into their sickness. And they take those words and they spin them around and they go out and do shit like this individual here did. This is why we need to stop doing this shit. This is why both political parties need to focus on policies and they need to unite. We need to unite in the fact of saying it's time to stop with the rhetoric bullshit. Folks, that is all I really got. I've been arguing with my mother since last night. And to be honest with you, it's been a fire burning within me. Because every time I scroll on Facebook. And here we go. Shipwreck. What's this video? Hold on. This is on shared by Shipwreck saying, I will never unite with these people. They're dangerous to humanity. I want to play this real quick. I want to see why they posted this. Hold on one second. We're going to play this video.
He should have spent a bit more time at the range. It's a pity he missed.
You see, this is the type of videos that's going all over TikTok right now. Listen to this. She is sick. She deserves and needs a mental evaluation. She needs a mental evaluation. She needs to go to the hospital and tell the doctors that there's screws loose in her freaking head and she needs to be checked and get on medication. Lady, your TikTok name is mother_anarchy_. Mother Anarchy. You need a mental evaluation. You need to get your head checked. Please do myself and America a favor. Go to the hospital right now and let the ER doctors know that you need a mental evaluation. To my mother, I love you. I do. But you need a mental evaluation. You are sick in the head. To wish death upon anybody. To wish death upon anybody. I'll say it loud again. To wish death upon anybody. You are sick and you need help. That's how I'm going to end it right now, folks. We need to unite as a country. Absolutely, we need to unite. To all you politicians out there that have denounced this demon for his senseless act, thank you. To Biden actually coming out and denouncing it, I never thought I would say this in my life, but thank you, Biden. Thank you for denouncing it. Thank you for calling Trump after the incident, having a conversation with him. Thank you. I will thank you for that, Biden. But now it's time on Monday morning when all you politicians go back to freaking work to work for us, the American people, not for you because you work for us. Never forget that, politicians. You work for the American people. When you go back, it's time to fucking get into action. It's time to beef up the Secret Service for Donald Trump. It's time to find out what the hell happened. Why was it a failure? Why did the shooter even get on the rooftop in the first place? How did he? Is there a leak? Is there a leak within the local law enforcement? Is there a leak within the Secret Service? We need answers. And it starts Monday morning. We need answers as American people. To everybody who's Republican, everybody who's Democrat, it's time for us to fucking stop this bullshit. You want to argue? Great. Let's argue on policies. And let me tell you, it's okay to agree and disagree. Life goes fucking on. Every day that we wake up breathing, we have been blessed with another day. The Lord Almighty has told us it's time for us to live. And for that, we should feel lucky. We should feel blessed that we are granted another day on this earth. To our children, to the kids that are in school right now, to the kids that are young, I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry that you have to go through this right now. I am. I'm sorry that we are failing you. We are failing you. We are showing you what adults should not be doing. We are showing you what adults should not be doing. Adults right now are acting like freaking children. And I apologize for that. We need to all grow up. Let's freaking unite, America. Let's freaking unite. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this right now. I wish I knew how to say prayer because I would end this with a prayer, but I apologize, I don't. But I will end it with this. Once again, my prayers go out to the family of the retired fire chief who passed away during the senseless act. My prayers go out for a speedy recovery and for those to make sure that they don't pass for the two that are still in critical injury. My prayers go to Trump and his family. Thank God for those men and women who were in uniform that did protect Trump during that. Folks, don't respond with violence. It's time to respond to the polls. I know people say that they don't vote because it don't matter, but it's time to vote. It's time to cast your voice. Get your voice heard. Now, more than ever, voting is important. It may not seem like it, but we do. We need to get out there. And we need to convince more of the younger generation, more of the people that don't go out there and vote. We need to convince them now more than ever. It is time to vote. And it's also time to stop spreading misinformation left, right, both sides. It's time to stop spreading misinformation. It is time for us as America to freaking unite. It is time to stop praising violence upon each other. Violence is not the answer to everything. The Second Amendment is not going anywhere, and I hope to God it doesn't. It's there for a freaking reason. It is to defend the life of you, your family, and those around you. Use it for that. Don't use it for evil. There are evil people out there. No matter where we go, we're going to see evil. But an incident like this that happened yesterday could have and should have never happened. America, we're in troubled times, and I'm scared for our future. I will try to do another podcast out later on throughout this week, but for now, God bless you all. God bless America. Take care.
You've been listening to The Mark G Show. You may know them from